You mentioned that the scheme, because of personnel, it was harder on Nick. When you look at the defensive line, I think the wide nine is coming to scrutiny. How much do you view, especially in the run game, the struggles there being schematic, and how much of it is personnel?
I think it's a little bit of both. First of all, regardless of injuries or anything, this year's most disappointing to me because regardless of injuries, I feel we should have been a playoff team. And then you never know what happens in there. But when I go back to the hardest thing for me this year was those 3 games I've talked to you guys about. First one versus Arizona, first one versus LA, first one versus Arizona, second one versus Seattle. I thought we should have won those games, and we lost them at the end by, I thought, our own mistakes, which means we would have been 8-2 going into week 11. And that was the hardest thing and then we hit some real bad injuries, which were going to be tough. But that's, to me, what made it steamroll to where we didn't have a chance to make the playoffs. So when I look at that stuff, that's the stuff that I feel we got to fix the most. And is that scheme? Is that personnel? That's football. You got to adjust. Your scheme changes when people are getting hurt, when you can't do exactly what you want to do. It happens on offense all the time. You guys are going to see. I hear it from you guys, but the offense looks different when a different quarterback gets in there. It looks different when Christian McCaffrey gets in there. It looks different all the time, and that's how defenses can be too. But you have to build it that way, because it's really hard to just change something up in 3 days of practice. You got to have that foundation of how you implement it and where you think the season can go, and that's what you really truly try to build in the off season, and then in the training camp. And that's something I think we'll be better at building this offseason, having a little bit more time to do it, being a little more prepared for it, because we saw where it went last year. And that starts with getting a coordinator in here who can help us map that out. And once we do map that out, it goes right to free agency and how to make sure we can get the best possible situation that we have out of the situation that we're in. And then it goes to the draft. And when that's over, all the guys are here, and then you get to work.